they get to choose everything, you know, like, so it wouldn't be fair to the other person. Oh, it looks like the game started.
Yep, the game has started, and we have Alsame going merciful this time, with
Ooh,
Saykoya going nearer. So
all right.
I think they're just kind of, to an extent, uh, having a bit of fun. Alsame's a game up, so it doesn't really matter if he loses on player 1 on this side, for example, because he's a game up and he'll it'll go 1-1, so, and Saykoya won't be able to choose this map.
Right.
So they won't be going back here.
So based on the way things turned out, I'm pretty sure that Alsame picked the map and Saykoya picked P2. And we do see Saykoya going for the thief opening as P2. As P2, he does get like the first thief, which is pretty important on this map.
I wonder what
Because
Alsame is
thieves,
going for.
oh, he's definitely going for the groove opening, right?
Oh yeah, I wonder if he's actually gonna knock the village down with Merciful.
Oh, he doesn't. That's unfortunate.
Oh, okay. Hey, he might do it next turn, although, is he gonna go thief this turn?
Uh, you know, it's actually interesting. I think it would have been maybe correct to go for thief there.
Oh, we're gonna find out. So how much gold does he have now? 400. Oh, so he's not even gonna have enough gold to go sword thief the next turn.
Yeah, and this is what I was talking about in terms of the STA, because whoever gets the first thief can usually delay the other guy's thief by like a long time. Though I'm quite sure that Alsame actually messed up the opening here, because from what I remember of playing this map, it should be possible to get your thief out earlier than this SP1.
So
Alsame has a... Oh, go ahead.
how do you feel about... So something Alsame did was he healed his commander at the start. And I feel like
Right.
if you do that as either player, it just slows down the thief build quite a lot.
Yep.
I'm kind of curious how... Like, he wouldn't be this far behind. I think just going for that heal is the thing that pushes you, like, this far behind in economy.
Oh, wait, hold on. I think I actually figured out what happened. I think... No, actually that can't be it. Never mind. I'll have to watch the VOD, but I suspect that Saykoya may have skipped the Rex build to get the thief out of turn early. Though, going by the number of units that he has, I don't think that's the case.
No, I think he was
So,
building every turn, so...
yeah. So it's definitely possible to get your thief out earlier than this as P1. So I just think Alsame messed it up. Messed something up.
Yeah, I think if you just heal your commander, then that's the thing that really pushes you far behind.
But that doesn't sound right to me either, because healing the commander on turn 1 is an opening that people have been doing for like a long time. It's not something new or anything. And I mean, Red Gems did it in versus Saykoya in the GMT Swiss bracket. So and he was able to get his thief out pretty early as well. So I just think Alsame did something wrong here, but I I couldn't tell you what is the thing. In any case, like Saykoya is already quite far ahead in terms of economy and like army value. Like look at Saykoya's army. He has a thief, he has balloon, he has a bunch of units, and Alsame has almost nothing in comparison, and it's because um, Saykoya got this early thief. It translates into a really big difference in econ early on. Although I'm pretty sure both of the players are kind of memeing, so I don't expect this to be a extremely serious game.
Yeah, I don't think Alsame is taking it too seriously. You don't really pick Merciful, and
Yep.
you don't pick him as a play to win move. Unless the only way I could see it being like a serious pick, and like in a way that you're like, oh, I actually really am trying to win, is like if you're in a long set and you pick at game 1 and you win, and then that causes a lot of like mental damage to your opponent.
Oh, oh, oh yeah, of course. Yeah, the mental damage is really important. That's why I said yesterday in stream about the importance of taunting. Taunting is what destroys your opponent's confidence and makes them lose the mental game. Anyway,
I think
so
even though Dark Mercy isn't, on the same level as Merciful, I think when Shu played Dark Mercy 2 games in a row and won both of them, that really, it just causes you a lot of distress as a player because you're like, why am I
right.
losing to this low tier?
I've never really believed in tiers. Gotta be honest with you. Like, I mean, sure, the different commanders have like different, generally different power levels, but it's really not as simple as boiling it down to a tier because every map is different, and you want to play the commander that fits the map and your playstyle. Anyway, Sakoya with the dragon. Wow, Merciful facing down a dragon already. I believe he can't even hit this village because the dragon is in range to protect it. So he can hit the one on top. Actually, that's probably what he's going to do.
Yeah, the North Village seems like the obvious target. And then he can
And
even
then he'll
capture it with the
have,
sword. Yeah.
and then he'll have Groove. Ooh.
He
And there's
will.
water on this. There's water on this map.
I wonder if he's gonna go for it. Actually, I have a question. If there is a dog standing on a river tile, can you use your fishing groove on it?
That is a great question. I have no clue. Um,
I have no idea if you can groove on a tile that has a unit on it. Someone in chat
I'm
will know.
ashamed. I'm ashamed to admit this, but I've almost no experience with Merciful. It's a travesty.
Yeah, I haven't even unlocked him actually, if I'm being honest.
Oh my, don't worry, man. We've all been there.
Yeah, I mean, I was the one for when we did Project Groove stuff, I was like, can you make the mod unlock everything by default? And that's what we did. Because so many people aren't going to have Dark Mercia. Or, actually, well, a lot of people won't have Dark Mercia, but like loads of people don't have Merciful unlocked. So.
Alsame taking time on this turn. I guess that Nuru like facing down his HQ is kind of scary to deal with. This dragon, like Sequoia has two powerful units in good positions, and Asami has to kind of play around both of them, which is going to be tough.
Yeah, I don't really know what you do here. Oh, I think you decap the North Village and capture it, and I think you capture the village the thief just stole from.
Yep.
Those seem like two very good plays. And I guess you have to build a mage in this circumstance. Because you need something that can challenge the dragon.
Yep. But like I feel that, you see, putting the balloon in this position, I feel like it's a submissive move, so to speak. Because you are blocking off the HQ, but that balloon blocking is not what that balloon wants to be doing. It wants to transport a mage that you just built this turn, like to the north, so that your Merciful is not so weak to a dragon. And that was the play that you should be wanting to do, but in this case you can't because Nuru's right there, and Nuru's push into the HQ can actually be supported by so many things that Saykoya will just balloon down.
Oh yeah, actually, yeah, he can just bring both swords, both dogs, like anything in the north he could bring down. Oh, and he's actually moving his commander down to defend. And
So Alsame going for another set series of submissive moves. And I do think that all of this is just caused by partly the STL on this map and partly Alsame messed up his opening.
and yeah, like the dragon is just such a big threat.
Right.
Like you have to respect it. You can't just walk up to a dragon and not challenge it.
Like these two villages in the north, which Saykoya controls, Alsame has not been able to gain control of the corresponding villages in the bottom, which shows how behind he is on econ.
And the really sad thing about where Merciful standing is, like, let's say Nuru hits the dog, for example. Like, Merciful doesn't even cover that. Like, he can't reach there.
Oof, ouch.
And, like, yeah, if Nuru hits the sword on that river tile, like, let's say the sword sits there, Merciful can't reach
You don't
that.
cover that either.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, so Alsame is just gonna have to be very submissive this turn. He's gonna have to play passively, and just take a beating right here.
And he can't even reach the balloon.
Yeah. Can't reach the balloon with the mage either. That balloon is just out of position, but it was kind of forced because of how aggressive Nuru is being. So now Saykoya just has a very easy time. He doesn't need to do anything special. Just has to slowly move all his stuff up. And Nuru, in fact, just captured his village right there, and there's nothing else Alsame can do about it.
And wow, that turn was so fast.
Wow.
That
I
is...
mean, it's a,
And that's another way to put pressure on your opponent, is if you're playing really quickly, you feel like you're under a lot of pressure.
yep.
Because like normally you would spend a lot of time thinking during your turn, or your opponent's turn even, and that means that, hey, you like kind of know what your plan is going into the next turn or two. But if your opponent just does everything lightning fast, you don't get time to think about like what your plan for the next turn is, and you don't really get as much time to think about how you're gonna respond to the turn they're taking at that point.
Alsame gets a witch. This is a good buy. It will protect his villages in the top left. It will just cover them, and the dragon won't be able to hit them unprotected.
Also covers the thief as well, which is nice.
Right. Although I do think that it could be argued that it's worthwhile for the dragon to just go in and hit the thief. And if you eat a witch hit for that, it's okay. Because this thief is like worth 1,000 gold right now, right? Because it's a 400 gold unit, and it stole 300 gold from you, and it's about to give 300 gold to the opponent. So you add all that up, it's 1,000 gold differential. Surprisingly valuable.
Yeah, and not only is it 1,000 gold now, but if it does another steal, it's even more gold. Like, it just generates value across the match.
And like once you kill this thief, you have enough money to just buy another dragon. So it's it's a reasonable trade to make. Especially if like Alsame moves the mage somewhere to the bottom, and the mage won't be able to help out with killing the dragon, and then you have a low HP dragon which can just run away afterwards.
Okay, so one good thing about Merciful's position right now is he gets to hit a village. So he's gonna build Groove.
Does he get to hit a village though? I feel like he might not get to hit the village.
I think you'll get to hit the 5 health village.
With all of this pressure, like maybe he'll get to hit it, but it's doubtful as to whether he'll survive after that.
Is a good point actually. But if he builds a second dog, then that's like a decent amount of pressure on Nuru.
I mean, I don't think there's like any pressure on Nuru now, because to pressure a commander, you need some heavy hitting units, because your opponent will never give you, will typically never give you more than 2 sides. So if you have just like cheap units that do like what, 15 or 20 damage, that's not really pressure. And like the way Saykoya is standing right now, I'm fairly certain Alsame will only get 1 side. Just like this 2 space gap between the village, that this 2 space gap that Nuru is standing in is a very powerful defensive choke point for both sides. So whoever controls this basically controls the key to like the whole side of the map. Sorry if I'm talking too much here.
No, it's fine. Like I'm just thinking about stuff like he's really just giving up that top side of the map.
He is leaving it undefended. Well, somewhat undefended, but Saykoya can't really take advantage of it this turn because he doesn't have units in range to decap. He has a dragon, but like I said, the witch covers both of these villages. So, and Saykoya's mage that he just built, it's not going to reach in time to cover the dragon. But it's safe this turn, but definitely we might see Saykoya just swing around to the other side of the map and take these northern villages. Although I don't think that's good for him either, because he really wants to be just control.
Oh, you might cut out. You were saying controlling.
Yeah, I think what Saykoya really wants to be doing right now is he just wants to keep controlling this 2 space defensive choke point that he's standing in, and just prevent Merciful and his army from taking all the villages on the right side.
Okay, we're seeing a second balloon come out. That thief up in the north is going to get a really nice steal.
Okay, Saykoya has entered what I like to call the balloon spam phase of the game. And as the name might suggest, it is a phase in which Saykoya just spams balloons. And you can't deal with it very well. Or if you're behind on eco and also on a 1-rex map. Because like in order to deal with balloons gold efficiently, you're gonna need mages. And if you build a lot of mages are just weak to all the cheap units that Saykoya already has. So it's not a great deal for you. And like there was a really memorable game in the GMT Swiss bracket in which Saykoya was playing Emmerich, and he just built a crap ton of balloons and thieves and mages, and just did what he's doing right now, which is controlling the right side of the map, using this defensive choke point as a natural fortress, sort of. And Red Gems couldn't do anything about it, and just lost the game because couldn't deal with the balloons on Crystal.
The balloons are definitely, especially with Emmerich on this map, they're actually really difficult to kill in general. I mean, of course, like mages will kill balloons, but if you injure a mage, it can't kill the balloon. Like if you hex a mage, it won't kill a balloon anymore.
Right. That's so surprising, right? Like, why would Chucklefish do this? Why would they make a transport unit so tanky for like no reason?
Well, I guess like the reason is they wanted it to not. Okay, so I guess my theory is that like if you are like a newer player, and like I see a lot of new players like leave things in balloons at the end of the turn, and if you lose a balloon with stuff in it, that just feels really bad. And
That's true.
we did get a lot of great moments out of that. There was a Groove of War 2 finals match where there was a balloon surround and the harpoon ship couldn't kill the balloon.
Oh, that was my game. That was me versus Matex.
Oh yes, that was a really good surround, and
That
had the
game.
balloon been able to be killed by the harpoon ship, it would have been over.
Right. I I have really fond memories of that game. Um, it was just a perfectly orchestrated, perfectly planned game from start to finish. I executed my strategy perfectly. Matex couldn't do anything about it, and at the end, like I had a Ragnar surround with Ragnar at 95%, and she couldn't jump out because she didn't have groove, and she couldn't avoid getting killed the turn after. That was a really great, one of my most memorable games.
I
Uh,
believe that's still up on my Twitch channel as well, actually. Um, Should anybody watching this feel like going back and watching some 1.3? Spoiler alert: Zeronix won that match, but
yep.
Alsame, I mean, he's really thinking about this turn. I seriously think you just go for the village. Like the witch and the balloon can come forward, and there's no anti-air to challenge that.
Right.
So it's
So
you might as well do it.
Als- I feel like Alsame is just hesitant to give up the top like this because Saykoya already has all um, this thief and like the swords which will decap Alsame's villagers like way before Alsame gets to the corresponding villagers in the bottom right. So if Alsame just gives up on the top right now, he's gonna be so far behind in economy. And I guess he must feel like somewhat reluctant to allow that to happen, which is why he's probably thinking a lot right now. But yeah, for the record, I do think that the line you suggested is correct.
Yeah,
And maybe you just
it's a hard
and
choice.
maybe
And sorry, you go ahead.
oh, and maybe you just split the army to do it. Sorry. Now you go ahead.
Okay, I was just gonna say something I brought up in one of your games on Headland was, oh yeah, he's gonna send a switch forward. Okay, so we got some action. Oh, he's gonna hit Nuru.
Oh wow. Oh, is Alsame going for a surround here? Oh, you can't get a full surround. Um, that is a really good roll though. Like that was close to the maximum damage on planes. I mean, it's not gonna be a full surround, but Nuru's gonna have to pull back now. And I believe there is no counter lethal, even though Alsame is gonna be open on two sides.
Yeah, I mean he can
Because
also drop a heal on himself too. So
yeah,
like you could even run a dog in for the extra hit and drop a mage heal on Merciful and the dog.
I do feel that Saykoya here would just pull back, just retreat.
Oh, so he's not even going to.
I like this a lot actually, because the consideration here is if you hit Nuru, then Nuru's at 93, right? Then she goes back and heals herself, and then she has groove at the end of the turn. But now Nuru's in a bit of a more passive spot. So now if she goes back and heals, she will not have groove at the end of the turn, and you kind of delay Nuru groove by one turn. which could matter in some scenarios where you're doing this push.
I actually really like injuring the sword because that's a sword you can potentially suicide into Nuru later,
Right, yeah, it's kill pressure.
and you know it takes the village down a bit more in health, so potentially a dog could knock that down.
Alsame made a oh has groove by the way. Alsame made a nice attack here, but now I think Saykoya is just gonna have so much profit on the top left. Like he's gonna have one thief steal, and then the two swords can decap something else. And Alsame is not in position to really punish that. And he still controls like the whole map. Like he will control 3/4 of the map if he does that. Saykoya will control 3/4 of the map. It's interesting that Saykoya decided to bring the mage forward so far, where it's like potentially can be hit um, by swords and dogs and stuff like that. Um,
Yeah, because like a dog, like if Nuru runs back, which she kind of has to, I think if she stands there, she's just gonna die. Uh,
I,
Especially given that there's a weak sword nearby. I
I
think
think. Hmm,
she has to run up to that forest, I think, and heal.
yeah, I think that's what Saykoya's gonna do. The extremely ballsy play would be to put Nuru in the forest and then hit the village for groove. But like I feel he's just gonna die if he does that. Although maybe not. Um, well, maybe yes, maybe no. I don't know. It's possible. Yeah, okay, he does the safe play, which is the heal. But now the mage is kind of vulnerable. Oh man. Alsame is so far behind in econ, like 500 gold behind, and he's starting his turn with minus 300 because of that thief steal. And Saykoya has just been getting the better of Alsame in terms of thief stealing. So it's going to be really hard for him uh, to win back that much in a fight.
Yeah, he almost has to get a lethal. I mean, like, if he played really smart and like just consistently did a lot of very good trades across this game, he could maybe pull back an economy. But I think he really just has to kind of go in and try and get a lethal.
Yeah, and like Saykoya is not the kind of player who will make the trades that are so bad that you can pull back this eco lead with just good trading.
So there comes the question: how do you come back in this position? He's got two mages as well, so even if you take out one, if you use your witch in a way that would take out one of the mages, like the other mage could just come in and take out the witch, and that's like your air gone. And if you don't hit either
So
of them, like you can lose a witch and a balloon in one turn. Like you lose so much of your air for that.
right. So I think in general, like how you come back from objectively lost positions is you have to count on your opponent to make a mistake. And we saw this in my game where like I kind of had the sense that Saykoya was getting a bit impatient maybe or starting to lose focus. And so I did an attack, which was objectively a bad attack. But it forced him to do a response. And when he does the response when he's impatient, people tend to make more mistakes in that kind of mental state. So, and true enough, he did put his commander in a position where it could be lethal, which let me save the game from there. So if Alsame wanted to try to win this from this position, he has to try to do something similar. But it's really tough to see how he can do that at the moment because there's nothing that he can use to bait Saykoya into attacking. Like you have to not be so far behind that Saykoya can just ignore your attack, right? And there's no good attack this turn in the first place. So Alsame will have to play this like extremely patiently and just wait for his opportunity, which may never come. It's not a rewarding experience playing from behind.
It is. Yeah, it's incredibly difficult, and I think one thing I would say about the current map pool that we have is the maps generally don't allow for enough like larger strategy to play out that you could be behind and then make good strategic decisions. I think the maps are small enough and the people are good enough that that just doesn't really happen as much.
Right. I do kind of agree with that. And I think this just has to do with map size and stuff like that.
Yeah,
Because, yeah, and say contested frontline properties, um, and you lose them, and it's not possible for you to come back from that. So maps with like a lot of contested frontline stuff, once you lose the advantage there, it's really hard to make a comeback because you're you're going to be at a huge econ disadvantage, and your opponent is not going to let you retake the econ, basically.
so what's Osama gonna do? I mean, like, I guess you just kind of have to hope that Nuru flips up.
Yeah, exactly. You have to develop kill pressure here. You have to be able, you have to set up the conditions where you're able to lethal Nuru, and then hope that the opportunity presents itself. Because that's your only out in this position. Your only way to bring the game back.
And I don't know if there's that on the table right now.
It's definitely not on the table right now. With maybe some imaginative play, Alsame might be able to bait something. So, like what I was talking about just now, baiting your opponent to make a mistake, you have to make some sort of threat, right? That's something that requires a response. So, things that require a response include like making an attack into their army, or just threatening a lot of their econ, or something else like building a ballista in an extremely defensible position. Um, so I think out of those options, there are two that Osame could pick right now. Could pick between if he wants to try. But I honestly think that Saykoya is not going to mess up this. Like, because he has a bunch of balloons, he has a dragon. Even if Nuru attacks, Saykoya is going to wall off so many things with his air units. And this space that they're fighting in is so narrow that it's unlikely that you can ever get a lethal, even if Nuru puts herself on a plane stall or something.
So while we're on a bit of a slower turn, I am gonna plug the Matcherino, and I have a chat command for the Matcherino now, so if people want to use that in chat, I'll maybe type it in chat if no one does in a couple minutes. People can boost the prize pool to the event. We have a code that people can enter. Every time someone enters that code, another 50 cents gets added. So, you know, if like a bunch of people do it, then that's like what, $20 or $30 that could get added to the prize pool, which is always nice. then it only requires you sign up to Matcherino and you put the code in. And there's some other things people can do. I think there's some things people can retweet. I don't know if that's still active or not, but it was at the time. And I just want to give a quick shout out as well. I checked the Matcherino today and I noticed the Cleaner Code had put $100 into the event. So just a shout out to Cleaner Code, and some other people had done that as well. Like, of course, Fear Dragon, our main event sponsor, putting $1,000 in. But Banty put $100 in as well, so we have $1,200 on the line.
That's amazing. I
It
really
is.
appreciate all these people who like donate to Groove of War and make it possible for like all of us players to have this experience. Um, they do great work. Uh, it's incredible.
I'm hoping we can see Fear Dragon do some commentary before this ends. I would have asked him about this weekend, but there is a huge StarCraft finals on, like, right now. And that doesn't end until, like, later tonight. So, he's like, StarCraft 2 is his main gig. I would have felt kind of bad about, oh, wow.
Oh wow, yeah. You
Alsame,
had the exact same reaction.
I thought that this could happen, right? I was like, oh, like, there is a possibility that he could go for this.
Oh wow, 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 wow. Okay, I see the play now. Mage and sword takes out the sword in the forest. The dog crit with a witch hex will take out that mage on the plains. But taking out one mage isn't enough though. You have to, because Saykoya has the backup.
Ooh, especially when
Um,
you leave your witch in that position. But, I mean, it does hex a lot of things, so...
that's true. So like I think this goes back to what I was saying. Like Alsami needs to do something that needs to create the chance for Saykoya to make the mistake. So this is, I guess, his way of doing that. He's by attacking. Oh, it doesn't even die. Oh, that's that. That mage will just. It's a heal buff now. You'll just go back and heal things. And so, how will Saykoya respond to this? Is the big question. Um, it is definitely possible for him to go wrong here. So I applaud Alsame for trying this because you have nothing better to try in this position. But the way his position is right now is do or die. It has to succeed or he loses the game. Just yeah, just loses the game.
I mean, looking at it, like, this is a big swing, though, because he ends the turn a unit ahead. If you look at the units that are on the board for Saykoya, like, most of Alsame's army is in a position where it can attack, whereas Saykoya's army is, like, much further to the north. A lot of these units aren't really going to interact with the fight that's coming up in the next turn or two.
That's true. That's true. You're actually really right about that. It's something I hadn't considered. It looks bad, but it's actually not that bad because like crucially this dog and this sword on the top, they cannot help out with hitting anything. And so Saykoya has a mage, a dragon, Nuru, and a dog, and like this one H 13% mage which can't really do anything either except heal. So not too much can counterattack here actually. So this is actually better than it looks from first glance. And like I said, it's definitely possible for Saykoya to mess up here and allow a lethal, but I don't think he will. Because there are too many air units walling now, right? Like balloons will come in, they'll cover the spot next to the dragon and the spot beside Nuru, and then you don't even need to cover next to the dragon actually. Actually, the balloon could just come down and stand below the mage, and maybe even drop something off below it.
Right, I am doing some like very like jank calculations in my head, right? I'm like, looking at what's available here. Potentially, Nuru could die. Oh no, there's a balloon. Never mind.
Um, so Nuru could die if Saykoya allows the mage crit. As long as he moves the balloon to that forest beside Nuru, there's oh wow he doesn't. Oh, there's something on the table now. Okay, that is interesting.
How to get to that though is pretty difficult. Like clearing these units below.
Right,
That
and you
said,
have to. Yeah.
so I was just gonna say, even like saying that, oh, like he could go for lethal. There wasn't a huge amount of counter attack damage there, so he could, in theory, just brawl this out and try and kill a lot of units.
That's true as well, but I feel like the longer you drag this out, the more time Saykoya has to make use of this massive econ lead. And if you see where Saykoya put his two balloons, or his one balloon, it's actually in position to just deliver both thieves back to the hideout. So Alsame needs to finish this within this turn or the next turn. And Nuru has Groove, which is also important. Like, and Nuru has like 900 gold in the bank. So if you don't kill her this turn, I feel you're just going to have a really bad time.
But I guess my question is, can you like the dog is strong
Okay, you
enough?
definitely can't now. You definitely can't now. Now that you use the mage on that, it's not possible anymore.
Oh,
Although it was debatable, it was probably not possible even before that. Um, but like now it's definitely not possible.
I guess like the thing Alsami can go for here though is he just tries to clear more of this army. Like, you know, he killed that dog,
Right.
he killed the balloon, he could kill this mage pretty cleanly. He can go for these recaptures on villages, so
Right, but when you're down on econ like this, like so far down on econ, you don't want to be trading because trading is better for your opponent. Um, they can replace their stuff more easily than you can. So you want to avoid trades and make a push um, with what stuff you already have. It's like that game one, Group of War 8 final, top 8 playoffs, or playoffs to get into the top 8. Saykoya versus Red Gems, right? Like, Red Gems failed a lethal really early and then was behind on econ. So he avoided trades and pushed with his army with Vesper Groove up. And Saykoya had to respect that, and it almost worked, is the thing, which is incredible. So you actually want to be avoiding trades and trying to make something happen with what you already have, is my take. And again, you can tell me if I'm talking too much.
no, it's fine. I'm just listening. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Something I think that would be a really smart small play here, and he's gonna do it. Yeah, he's gonna put the balloons in position where the knight can't crit anymore,
Oh wow, that is kind of nice actually.
because now the thief will live. Um, and the thief could potentially get to one of those balloons depending on where Nuru goes. So you're almost gonna have to see a forced groove out of Nuru to make a mage to kill one of these balloons.
That's true. I feel like grooving for a mage here is not that bad though, because that mage can hit this balloon from the forest, and then that opens up the night crit to hit the thief. And after that, you don't care about this remaining army that Alsame has. You just kind of ignore it and let it do whatever it wants. You've already taken so much profit on the top left. that it just doesn't matter. You can just let that go and still be a hit.
Yeah, I think we're gonna see a second dragon come out here just because Saykoya has so much money. And
Well,
he's
second dragon would really limit what he can do with his roof, but it is a possibility.
oh, that is true actually. Oh, so he's not gonna.
Actually, I think Saykoya is just gonna be Boulder here. He's gonna use Groove for a sword, and oh, actually, no, he goes for something else. Goes,
Ballista!
oh, Saykoya going full meme here. I like it. I like it. I respect that.
I mean, you say it's a meme, but nothing can reach that ballista. And
Or nothing can hit the dragon either. Oh,
yeah, that's actually a really smart play.
I mean, it's not the. I don't think it's the best play, but it works. And at this point, you don't need the best play. You just need something that works.
Oh, and the ballista in that position can hit the stronghold. So
Oh wow, you're right. Actually,
that's
maybe
really.
Saykoya. Maybe Saykoya was setting this up so that he could have this ballista, because he had like just the correct amount of money for it too.
And next turn he's gonna double deposit gold, so he's gonna have so much money. And yeah, I think he's just gonna pick off this dog, because why not?
Yeah. Percival now has a total army of like 3 swords and a dog against dragons and ballista and knight. Oh man, this does not look good. I'm gonna tell you that much.
I think if I'm Alsame, alright, he's gonna try and fight, so maybe he's just gonna like kill the dog and then the mage, and if I'm him, I just like use my groove and hit GG.
Will we see the ballista crit this game is the question.
If I'm Alsame, I think I try and deny that.
just to be salty.
Yeah, well, I mean, because you could just use your groove and tap out. I think that would be fine.
That's true. Get the stall points and lose gracefully.
Actually, here's the funny thing, because the bug's still in the game where you can't walk on a river tile when you have groove, right?
I'm not aware of this bug, but I'll take your word for it.
I think it's something like if you have groove, and this is like the reason why people say merciful is worse. Oh wait, where's he going?
He's going to the enemy stronghold.
Is he actually?
Is my guess. I mean, what else would he be doing here? He's
I
going
mean,
to the enemy Rex. Is my
he
other
could
guess.
technically go both of those, yeah. I mean, he could actually try and go for the stronghold.
He could try. It's not going to work, but he could try. No, actually, I'm just going on a nice vacation, get away from all this stress, and no, I mean, Merciful is going on a nice vacation, and they're gonna take a hot air balloon trip around the world.
I wonder what he's gonna do. I'm so curious. Technically, he could block the hideout to some extent, and oh no, he could actually just block the hideout. And
That's true. That's true.
Stop the gold from being returned, but I don't think he'd go for that.
Okay, so what I think is gonna happen here is Alsame is gonna balloon up to this river in the top right, and then go fishing there, and then tap out. That would be one stylish way to end the game.
It would. I think does his stronghold die if he tries to do that though?
In most cases. I mean, you could hold it off for a turn with this other balloon.
Yeah, that would work actually. Yeah, you can block the night crit with a balloon. Oh no, the ballista would kill a balloon. So.
Yeah, but then the ballista doesn't hit the stronghold, which is the. And night crit plus dragon will not kill the stronghold.
That is true. Oh, he's gonna attempt to go for this.
It's too bad that Merciful is in dragon range. I guess we might find out this turn whether you can fish from a tile that already has something on it.
Alright, it's Saykoya immediately, without hesitation, deposits all this money.
How was this money obtained illegally? No, I can assure you it is of the most legal. Oh, ballista crit!
It happens. We got another. That's the second ballista crit we've seen. I swear we've seen another ballista crit this tournament.
Is Sakura just gonna ignore Merciful here? I mean, that's an option, because he won't do anything by himself.
I guess you just try and go for the strongholds.
That's true.
And then, like, use a mage and a balloon to defend the ballista. And, like, you just have, like, Nuru walk forward and hit. Oh, I thought she would hit the village, but no, she's just gonna... I don't know what she's gonna do, actually.
My money is on killing a sword here.
Yeah, I could see a sword kill. I guess hit the 7 health sword from the left, so she can then hit the north of the... Yeah.
Right. And the thing would just be to... exactly. And the key here would just be to prevent this sword in the forest from hitting a ballista. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Sakura's just gonna race for the stronghold here, so... Yep.
And take... That's actually a pretty decent trade, hitting a dog with a sword when you can do that much damage.
Yeah.
And at this point, I think we'll see Alsame use his groove and then tap out. There is absolutely no way you can win at this point.
Merciful visits the Floran chieftain for a nice cup of afternoon tea and some evening fishing. Or rather, Merciful calls on his good friend Greenfinger, who lives in this giant house, and they go fishing together.
Yeah. I mean, I could see Nuru being into fishing. He's got that rod.
Ooh.
She could, like, attach, like, a... Is it a lure? I think it's called a lure.
Yeah, it's called there.
Is Alsame actually going to try and go for this? It looks like it.
We could get a second ballista crit.
Could get a second ballista crit.
So Alsame's probably going to put this dog on like the space north of the stronghold, probably. And then like use balloon pike on the south. Or you could do it the other way. This game feels a lot more serious than the one we watched yesterday.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I think... I mean, he could technically, yeah, he can drop the pike there.
You know, it's weird to say this, but I actually think Saykoya does not have a stronghold kill this turn.
That is so bizarre. I mean, I think his sword and Merciful will die before they could kill the strongholds.
Yeah, I think so too. It's just funny to think that There's actually no kill on the stronghold. Alsame found the optimal defense.
Even as a harpy, just so. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So if the knight goes after the dog or like the spear, the harpy can retaliate.
Yep.
I'm just so very curious how this is gonna play out. I mean that does 90.
Okay. Yeah, Merciful's dead here.
Yeah. Wow, he gets that stronghold down real low though.
Oh, we never got to see fishing. That's unfortunate.
We didn't. I'm actually kind of sad about that as well. Alsame picks Merciful and doesn't even groove. I mean, he's really trying hard to go for this, but
What a tease.
I think Dragon Double Mage kills Merciful.
Pretty much.
He's one tile away from a Ballista joining in on that fight too.
So it's actually not that guaranteed that you get the kill here. It's 90 damage before defense, and Merciful's at 84. So the extra little bit of Plains defense might help him survive. Okay, it's that. It's actually really funny, but now there's no kill on Merciful this turn either, because you don't have Dragon Double Mage anymore. Isn't that weird?
Yeah, but I think there's enough stuff here that can.
Like Alsame found the perfect defense, like one turn, to delay his loss by one turn. That's actually kind of impressive in a bizarre way. And Saykoya tries to sack the dragon, but it doesn't work. So if he sacks the dragon and it died, it would have worked. But anyway, it's Merciful's just gonna die in the top. There's no contest. But it's strange to think if Alsame had like a little bit more stuff attacking the stronghold, it would have worked. Because, yeah.
Yeah, if there was like, if that mage, for example, was up there, I think that would do it. Gets a Ballista crit on the mage. Oh. Bench is off. Kind of close to having groove again.
Like if Merciful here was Sigrid, we actually have something to talk about. Because Sigrid next to your stronghold, and like how do you deal with that? Second Ballista. Oh my god, Saykoya, you're a madman.
I think
Saykoya.
I would like to see a witch built here just for the hex. Like in an actual like serious thing. He does leave open the option for Merciful to go fishing.
Ooh, Saykoya choosing the honor. I mean, there's no way to prevent that. Just saying. But yeah, that's nice.
Is he gonna do it? He's gonna do it! And he gets a boot. Oh, that's a shame.
That's a shame indeed. I think if he had gotten the Chucklefish there, then he should have had won the game.
Oh yeah, he just ends turn. I think he's definitely having just a bit of fun with that one. Oh, the mage kills. I was actually hoping the Ballista would get the final hit, but
Yeah, me too.
oh well. Saykoya takes a very convincing win on Safe Haven over Alsame. And well played. Another. I mean, this entire set is going to be an absolute mess, but people will love it for centuries. So.
Yep.